This is a Headgum podcast.
No rap.
We can discuss, give me your truth, it never fails.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Lil Rel Howery, and you're here for a new episode of Keepin Real with
Young Wayne.
That's right, man. It's so much going on.
Oh man, where you want to go with this?
I don't know where to start at. Y'all got to realize something. We've had at least an hour conversation before we taped it. We did a whole podcast episode that could have been recorded.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
It'd have been good.
I
Too.
don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to say. It's very passionate.
Yeah.
But Wayne, what I want to talk about today?
What's this, man? Please.
Let's talk business, right?
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, and I was just telling a lot of my friends this recently, I don't care what you do in your career, if it's entertainment, if you're a doctor, lawyer, real estate person, Wall Street person, whatever you are, know your business.
Mm.
Know and learn the business of whatever field you are in, because that'll take you a long way. I think, especially entertainment, sometimes you could be kind of just overly focused on the dream.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's fine and everything, because the dream is what gets you where you at. That crazy dream that either other people don't even believe in. And believe me, I know, I've experienced that. But at some point, you got to know the business. And I know for me, I had to learn each section of the business.
I think some people, they learn the business and they're afraid to learn the business because then they may not want to go for that dream anymore. So when did you learn the business?
Well, that's funny you say that, because then once you get good at what you dream of doing, you want to be paid for it. But you got to understand what that means.
That's
Like
true.
in the stand-up world, I remember like when you first start doing comedy, you just doing it. You don't care. You probably still working a regular job and all this
Mhm.
other stuff. But then you start doing shows
Mhm.
and paid shows.
All right.
And these shows are packed. And you starting to be really funny on those shows.
Mhm.
But you still only getting like $50 or $40 or whatever the case may be. And you go to your guy, the comic that booked you or the promoter, like, hey man, I just killed this. I ain't gonna get no more money. Like, nah, you ain't put no ass in the seats.
What? Well,
Yeah, see, here we go. This is
Nah.
what I learned. My first business lesson in stand-up comedy was that I didn't put those asses in those seats. I wasn't even on the flyer. I just went up and had a great set.
oh wow. What show was that? Where they didn't put the
Any
comedians
show,
on
nigga,
flyers?
any show.
Interesting.
That's one of my tricks. When I started doing jokes and notes and I did Lil Rel and Friends,
All right. Yeah.
because I didn't want, I'm like, and let me tell you why, let's rewind it back before I even get to that point. It's when it was made to me like, real cool, I put you on this show, but you're not selling tickets.
Mm.
My name, me promoting this is doing that.
Right.
Why should you overly benefit it? Because you had a great set.
Yeah, I mean, no, for real. I mean,
But that's just being real.
Yeah,
Because
that's
all
real.
that did was tell me that I need my own, because it was that, and then when I got good, stage time got limited. And so you got to deal with the egos of like, oh, no, I ain't putting
Oh,
this
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah.
He ripping too hard.
Yeah.
Get your own damn room if you want to do that.
That's what you did.
And that's what I did. I learned, okay, I got to get my own spot, but I had to learn the business of it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Who taught you the business?
Man, like I learned from like D-Ray. I learned from like, Damon Williams. And it's not like, when it's not saying you're not going to pay nobody. It just when cats be like, I want more.
Mhm.
And that's because because you got to stay. No, you say yes to this number.
Right.
Don't count my bread once you get here and seeing this pack. That's business too.
Yeah.
You didn't negotiate well. You gonna back end negotiate?
They say, nah, I did well. It's like I scored 30 tonight. I should get paid more.
I should get paid more. I scored 30. Look, I scored 30. Even though I said like Scottie Pippen, like his gripe, right?
Right.
Scotty's like, man, they played me and did. No, fam. Jerry Reinsdorf said it right on that documentary. Like, he said yes.
He said yes.
And I'm not saying it's right, but that's business.
Yeah.
Every documentary you've ever seen on musical artists being played and stuff like that is because they didn't hire the right attorney to look at the stuff. They just took somebody's word.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that could come from, if I could be honest, coming from, if you're the first person in your family actually get out the gut or whatever,
Right. Yeah,
it's
no
not
idea.
even nobody to help you in your family with that.
No idea.
They don't know neither.
Nope.
That's why when I see situations like, who documentary I just watched? Oh my God, it was a good one too. I got to remember in a second. But their dad negotiated their contract
Mhm.
and had the right lawyer look at it. And so they was able to get the stuff they needed that was correct.
Okay.
And I'm like, damn, that's how you You know, and shoot, Michael Jordan.
I was gonna go there, but
You go with Nike Air, they held their ground, and my Mike is a billionaire. He's created generational wealth because of the way his mother negotiated.
and that was 40 years ago almost.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And so I think a lot of times companies and things take advantage of that too, right?
Mhm.
Like they know you're not going to do that, which is tough about being in entertainment. They do know you're not going to ask for, like, because you want the dream to happen so bad.
Mhm.
That's why when I see people, it's just a real shit. You know, everybody know that the WGA SAG after strike is happening, and you know, I could go a lot of ways. Look, I go a lot of places with that because I'm gonna say this. I do believe things do have to change. It's a different system.
Mhm.
You know, the streaming system has changed everything. You know, we got the AI talk. You know, it's a lot going on. But here we go with my honesty. This is about business.
Let's
Wayne.
hear it. Let's hear it.
You know, I stand with. I'll say two things. Let's start with the WGA. I love the way the WGA did everything.
Now you out there striking and everything, too.
Man, because they did a good job before we even ever went out there in front of those studios, before we even said we were strike,
Mhm.
they let us know everything that was going to happen if we decide to strike.
Mhm.
This is what we couldn't do, this is what we can't do, this is before we actually went out there and started, started
Picking.
picketing.
Yeah.
I call everything protesting shit. Same thing, picketing. And you know, one thing I learned about when maybe right before Barack got into office, matter of fact, before he got into office in Illinois, the Illinois elections was the first time I understood I need to pay more attention to politics.
Mhm.
You know, we had Rod Blagojevich was the governor who,
Yeah.
all the shit he did. And,
Yeah.
even like Jesse Jackson Jr. with all that controversial shit. It was a lot of shit going on.
You taking it back now.
But then that's what made me be like, man, who the fuck have I been voting for?
The
Like
Democrats.
I just went with with whatever, that I wasn't watching. Even with the Democrats, I didn't vote for the right Democrat because I wasn't paying no attention.
Right.
And that's when I started paying more attention to elections. And let's fast forward because we got to be picky about who we put in those offices to represent us. That is the same thing for the WGA and SAG-AFTRA. And I think sometimes we just go with our daily grind and daily thing, and we not even knowing. Like, to be honest with you, if I could be real, I didn't know Fran Drescher was our president until like right as stuff was happening. They're like, oh, the nanny, cool.
Wow.
Fran Drescher, man, that's cool. And then the guy, the chief negotiator, I don't know who that is. And I got mad at myself, like, damn, I wish I'd have paid more attention about who's on these committees, because you get the emails, they own it, but I'm not paying attention to it.
Yeah.
And I think about, because who I liked a lot as our president, and I'm not saying I don't like Fran. I don't want anybody to think that. It was the lady that was on 90210. She was the one with the glasses.
Okay.
She's like the nerd, cute girl on the show, but she was cool.
What was
But
good about her?
she was just, I remember communicating with her. She always had these newsletters explaining things. And I'm not saying we didn't get that from Fran, but it's like, and this is, I get real on this. And if I'm going to be real, it's going to be on this. My podcast, nobody else thing. And I don't even know when this is going to come out. I think a lot of people forget. Maybe a few weeks before we started talking about going on strike, it was a video that went out where they were all celebrating how negotiations was going.
Uh-huh. I remember seeing that video.
Right? They was like, oh man, everything's going well. It's this, it's this. It's like, they all started applauding.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. Right after that, I know I'm on a couple of actors group texts from different films I'm in. Everybody started sending around that letter that everybody signed saying, hey, cool, even if y'all close to a deal, forget that deal. We're going to be on solidarity with the writers, and we should strike anyway.
Right.
And if you believe that, basically sign that letter, right? And I did, because, if at that time I was like, I'm down with my brothers and sisters. This is what this is. We got to stand together. And then, like, everything hit the fan. And I'm one of those people, I can't, Wayne, I don't, this is where I've been at in my life, probably in the very aggressively the last few months. Well, I don't see anything on the surface anymore.
Hmm.
I can't move like that. Because I never really have moved like that, but sometimes I participate. I decided not to no more, and I've made better business decisions and everything because of that.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, all right, let me think about this a bit. Because then they went, they was like, well, that time we made, because then, well, the next part that happened is they caught Fran in Italy at the fashion thing while all this stuff was going on,
Mhm.
right? Everybody's like, what? And that's when the letter was circulating.
Oh wow.
When she saw the letter, she ended up signing the letter. I feel like it put pressure on her. If I could be honest,
And we want you to be honest.
I think a deal was done.
Mm.
I think a deal was done for SAG-AFTRA. I think SAG-AFTRA wasn't supposed to go on strike.
Right.
It wasn't until that letter and the names that was on that letter, we talking about A-listers,
Mm.
that put pressure on them to be like, we can't make a deal. Now then, we fast forward to like all of a sudden, like the studios didn't want to make a deal with us because you got to remember the DGA made their deal. It's certain groups that the studios wasn't planning on striking with. It was the DGA and SAG-AFTRA.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I know.
And so, like, that happened. Then they did another press conference. Then we got this great speech, and everybody like, that speech was inspiring. But I was watching it like, okay. Because then my thing is this. If y'all knew the stuff on the table, for instance, nobody said anything about them scanning background actors, paying them one time and using their images forever as background. None of that was said when they did that applause video, because that had to be on the table when they was negotiating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was too much stuff brought up after all this other stuff trying to clean up whatever that is happened.
So do you think they clean that deal up?
No, man. I think they were pressured into striking because of what everybody else felt. I think they were done. And it was just going to be on the writers, and we just going to be like, we just got solidarity.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you this, when the writers went on strike, this is how strategic and organized the writers were, the Writers Guild. Once again, they had a list of what you could. So if you even had questions about it, you were still able to have conversations before we ever walked to a picket line. With SAG-AFTRA, it came after. I don't know if everybody would have voted for them saying we can't do it. Because this is what I understand. Number one, you can't do any red carpet, press, whatever, premieres, things like that. You know how dumb that was to say no to that? I'm going to tell you why. If we're trying to put out here what the studios are doing to us, and on their dime, we could go on those carpets and explain. You getting it from A-list actors.
Yeah.
From everybody's saying this is why we're standing on this.
Mhm. That's more
You
powerful.
only stop that when they tell us we can't talk like that no more. Why would you? That's fucking stupid. That didn't make any sense to me. Let them tell us we can't say nothing first.
Yeah.
Didn't make any sense.
Yeah, man. Sound like yeah. Oh, somebody's working together.
Look, man, and what's happening is it's like, and I'm scared this is gonna happen. I think right now we got the hype of it, and I tell people August 1st, hit the first of the month, and everybody start feeling what this really is. You have to pay attention to everything that's happening. I am I'm flabbergasted. Because if you look at the writers' council, like the people that's negotiating, those are like these are people we know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they're power players.
He's the showrunners, right?
Not just showrunners. They've been at events where the head of those studios are there and talk. I'm looking at the SAG-AFTRA group. Like, have any of y'all been to a Ted Sarandos party? I'm being honest. Like, have you? Because you do rub elbows with the studio heads. I want people to negotiate who they have respect for.
Right.
Renegotiating for me. I don't know. The prime negotiator guy with the glasses, I don't know who that brother is. He was at Comic-Con, which they asked nobody to go to. He was there. Think about that. And that I'm telling you, I don't see nothing on the surface. And I think, to be honest with you, as a Black artist, I can't And I hate to say this, y'all. Let's look at the big picture, y'all, for real. This almost reminds me of when Trump was going against Hillary Clinton. And where they tended, I'm just being straight up, they use us to be frontline people to push a lot of things. But if, say, for instance, a deal gets done and all this stuff, we still got other stuff we got to fight for. That still ain't rectified. Nobody's saying this. We saw all those diversity leaders at these studios either quit or get fired recently.
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense to me on the surface.
Mm.
And then, like, we got to be careful. Like, this is what I understand about negotiating. I love negotiating. The studios don't want to come back to the table, right? And I understand why. Because they like, how you going to talk all this shit about me? And you want to sit down and talk? No.
So what's the resolve?
The resolve, I don't know what the resolve going to be. It's tough because I believe everything the writers are asking for is deserving.
and fair?
It's very fair.
Mhm.
I think the actors and the writers, I think we're just trying to combine forces in this because with the SAG, it's like even with the street, because I love how people talking in general. And that's how I know nobody know what the hell they talking about. Because they'll go talk about like, why you striking? Because we got to get more, we got to get paid. We got to get, because we don't get, because they making all the money. And then I got a 3-cent check in the mail.
Yeah.
That gaslighting shit. Let me tell you something. We all get the bullshit checks. But you also get a check for $40,000, depending on how you negotiate your shit.
Negotiation.
I've gotten those baby checks and the big, all at the same time. Like most of the time, it's like, it's never been like this. No, it's all been like,
right.
And it's based on how I negotiated things. A lot of those checks are like, though, because nobody ever says what show or thing that came from.
Right.
They just saying, look at this 3-cent check, and then they'll cover up what the thing is. What show is that from? Like, I remember, I love all the actors in the world. The old dude from Abbott Elementary. He said, I showed my brother a check for 4 cents, and he thought it was funny. But I'm like, was that from Hill Street Blues or something? You know that shit deteriorate over here? Like, if you on a hit show now and they give you a $7 residual check, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I don't like that we're gaslighting that.
Right.
Because now we're misinforming people. That's why the public, like people that's not in our business, are a little confused about what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I no idea what's going on.
They like, what, like the robot, because there's so much things been thrown. Like, wait, so the robot's finna be
writing,
and then they gonna make a new face and bring back Sidney Poitier for Bad Boys 4, and they gonna put his face. What? Wait, what? And it's like, because the AI thing is real, right? But AI can't really. It's like, it's not. Like you saw recently, Netflix has said, I think they were trying to hire somebody for like $900,000 who's an AI expert, and they can do that all they want, but it's still doing anything AI is still a liability, and so it's gonna take time before they legally figure
that out.
Everything out. You know what I'm saying? And so making that the top thing, I also think we got to be careful about the streaming numbers game, right? Because that's one thing everybody keep bringing up too. All the streaming numbers, and they making all this money from the streaming. I'm gonna tell you something. It's a reason why. Because you got to think about it, the studios are like being secretive with each other on those streaming numbers, right? Because the investors and the shareholders, they just throwing out stuff so they can get money from the right people. Okay? I don't know if the streaming stuff is really doing as well as everybody think it is.
Right. Yeah.
And I think we should be a little nervous about, because I bet you the studios would love to tell us what those hours and minutes are for real. So then the budget's gonna cut then.
Right. Dang.
I don't think nobody thought about that. Because right now, they're not telling each other this shit because of the competitive thing. I think they want to tell us what the numbers are.
Say things
but they can't because of their competitors.
Yeah. You don't know, let them know how you doing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's because of the shareholders.
Wow.
So
it's a fight in a circle, it sounds like.
Fam, it is. Well, this is what I do believe is going to happen. I believe they're going to like let this go as long as it can, because I'm going to tell you something. That 100 days is coming. And with the 100 days is, all those people who they giving deals to, those holding deals and first look deals and TV shows and all, the stuff they didn't want to make and they feel like they was forced to. And think about this. We lost our diversity hires.
Mm-hmm.
So guess who's a lot of deals that we're going to see leave? Fam, it is.
Damn.
My thing is this. Once again, I believe striking makes sense. But what I don't like is not proper game planning. Our union just jumped to a strike and then properly game plan. The Writers Guild did.
Mm-hmm.
The Writers Guild been game planning this since the last writer strike.
So can you have one and not the other? So the SAG stay off strike while the writers are still on strike? You know?
No, but the interesting part is it's a lot of us that's in both unions.
Yeah.
And so, you caught between a rock and a hard place.
Oh my God.
And then, recently we had, because SAG had to put out a thing about why they giving out these waivers and stuff for the independent stuff, which if I could, I don't know how honest I'm going to be because it's like putting everybody, I can say whatever I want. Nobody, I mean, they going to listen to me. I think this is an opportunity for business. And it goes back to what I was saying first.
Mm-hmm. Back to
It's
business.
for you to be on your business.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of us could come out of this wealthier than what we ever had.
How so?
By creating our own stuff. And we say that all the time. Independent is where to go. These negotiations are not with the independent production companies and studios. Because guess what? They're giving and they're doing what SAG-AFTRA asks and demanded.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the big places.
Right.
Those big places may crumble once people figure out if they invest into themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that studios are giving like 80% off now. Come on in and work, whether it's voiceover, whether it's videos. They saying come on in and work. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, they think about it, this is a gangster thing, man. And I think the thing I fear, if I could be honest, is that at some point, I'm just talking so whatever. I don't know how Union Strong SAG-AFTRA. I don't know if SAG-AFTRA could have survived after this strike as one whole union. Because once again, you got people mad at people for doing independent stuff.
Right.
And that don't make any sense to me. Why you mad at? So we gonna punish the studios who not the huge power players from they've been doing like the A24 who've been doing the right thing? Why would we punish them? Because people looking at like, well, they gonna film it and then they gonna sell it to the bigger studios. Cool. Because I'm gonna tell you this: the ones when you make those deals with those independent studios, how you get those back end points, those producer credits, all that stuff, that's basically all they have to offer. And so that's a good thing. That makes you more of a power player. But once again, if your mindset is following and going by the book, that's why we got to be careful about our reps. That's why I'm very aggressive to my reps. And I've been like that forever.
Mm-hmm.
Very proactive, very like this is how I see things. Even if I tell them like, this is what God told me to do. You ain't gonna argue with me with some like, well, this is what us. I don't give a fuck. This is what I heard. This is what I've seen. This is what I want to try.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I've done that and gambled on myself, it has worked. It's things I've done before this strike that made me feel like I'm ahead of the curve a little bit.
Like what?
By like doing things with great scripts.
Mm-hmm.
The budget's not as big, but they let me be a partner in it.
Right.
You build partnerships.
That's how you build.
That's how you build.
Yeah.
And it could be how you want the content to be.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be, you're a part of this whole big process.
Mm-hmm.
And if it does well for real, you make a killing.
Right.
For years.
What's one of those projects? Was it Bromates?
I can't right now, I can't speak on any shit.
Oh, that's right. What are we saying?
And that's you talking about old shit. I'm talking about the shit that's gonna be coming
I'm talking
out.
about old shit. Like
Yeah. I'm talking about the stuff that's I'm been in development before all this shit happened.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on it, fam.
Locked in.
I'm locked in. And a couple of those things are done.
But it can't move right now.
No, I can move. I can't say shit right now. Right now. But I've learned the business part. I mean, one of the reasons I'm going back on the road is to just, just to hustle, get money up so I can reinvest this shit.
So you see an opening right now.
100%,
Yeah.
to create our own.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy, like, even we doing a podcast, like, I'm saying something that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And to most people, this gonna go over their head unless we talking about some crazy shit.
They want clickbait.
We ain't gonna talk about Cardi B throwing a microphone. I'm like, nah, nigga, I don't care about that shit. How does that benefit me?
She threw the shit out that microphone.
She did though.
I was like, man.
But the old girl threw the fucking water. Like,
yeah, I was like,
these
what?
damn crowds are getting fucking crazy.
Yeah,
like
they
just throwing shit and do like. Do y'all still want live performances?
But
At some point, it's gonna be some Zoom performances. And you're gonna be paying $100 a ticket to see a Zoom performance because you want to throw water on.
But like she
You're
like
gonna
really
throw water in your laptop.
aim that water, whatever was in that cup. At that
I don't
lady
care
like
what
that.
it was. It was in a cup that probably was on that lady's lips.
It was definitely on her lips. But what made her do that? Where's that lady at?
People been acting a fool since we decided to say COVID never happened or whatever the hell we doing now. People been losing their fucking mind.
I don't know.
And so, okay, that's all I'm saying. Being on your business is so important.
And I got something to say too. So like one of the keys, people always say, I know my worth, I know my worth, I know my worth, I know I'm this, I'm that. Yo, you are worth what you can negotiate. That's just the truth. And that's the end all be all. If you can negotiate it, how are you worth it? Explain that.
Well, you also got to be okay with saying, hey, this is what I want. You ain't going to give it to me? Fuck it.
Yeah, you got to be able to do
You
that.
better be okay to say fuck it and walk away from it.
That's true.
And I think that's the scary part about being an actor and where I could be honest, where like these tycoons take advantage of people at these studios, and they just know the dreamer want the dream so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so you take things, but then this is the crazy part too, because I have friends that say stuff like the only you know how many people who don't work like they're happy that the people who working out there with them, like they happy to see us. Because that's the thing about it too. This is a competitive field. Yeah, and so something like I think everybody's like we want to make all this stuff even, but it's not going to be. And so when you hear people like, man, fuck Tom Cruise and why Denzel ain't out here? Why blah, blah, blah. Well, they like that don't mean they're not standing with it. I just think everybody see things a lot differently. Because especially people who done stuff from, like for me, it's from the mud.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Everything comes from the mud. I didn't have insurance from this shit at first. You had to start making $26,000, and I think even with that, right? If
you could be honest,
if I could be honest, I don't think $26,000 is so fucking high. I just think we just have a very competitive market. Because let's think about this. Let's just think about casting for Black actresses and actors.
Mm-hmm.
We all audition for the same shit pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of us.
Right.
So it's almost impossible to even have work that's going to give it to where you make that much money. It's almost set up where you almost can't.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. I mean, look, I get where we could go lower. But then I've always owned the fact that I can't. Some niggas is just going to be better than me. I came in there thinking like this. I didn't came in there thinking like, oh, it's going to be so. I guess because I'm Black. I was like, I already had the mindset I got to go harder than everybody else to even get where I'm at today.
Yeah, that's how you get to where you
even when you're successful. I remember that year they leaked everybody's salaries. And I'm like, damn, I'm writing on my show, producing my show. I'm playing a different character every episode. And Tim Allen doing one thing and making 5 to 6 times more than me. And then I look at when they release like Anthony and these are movie stars and they show us a hit, and I'm still not that far off from them. Okay. And Tim Allen is like way past, like not even just him. If I could be honest, white man or white woman that was starred in the show were so far ahead of all of us.
And is that a negotiation thing, or that's just what the hell?
Man, it's weird. It's a little bit of both. Yeah. Because your team might be telling you what they're telling you, that you can't negotiate for certain things. They tell you they don't give nobody that.
Right. That's never happened.
And then you see a cat on the same damn network with you.
But you don't think that's just like at a certain level? Because I think that's the problem. Like,
nah.
Where you're at versus like a series regular versus a recurring member versus like background, those are all very, very
April.
very
I got a good point to that. So, but see, right now I'm talking about what I just brought up was everybody who was starring on the show, right? At that time, they released those salaries, the stars, and the pay gap was huge. And a lot of times they tell all of us when we're negotiators, we don't give this to nobody. But when it was leaked, because it was leaked, they weren't like the studios threw it out there. It was like you giving this man this much per episode, and it wasn't like it was Home Improvement. It was a new show that wasn't even on your network.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, now that you know the numbers, you go in and ask for it.
Well, you ask for it, but it's still they can still say no.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it is, and you're right, April. There's levels to it, which is why I actually understand that because I did background work before. You know what I'm saying? I was an extra and Trapped in the
I was
Closet.
about to say Trapped in the Closet.
David Barbershop. I forgot what other movies. I was doing background work for everybody. And I kept climbing this shit. And I kept going up. I'm actually one of those weird my career is like literally a Hollywood story. All the way around. We talking about from the movies part, from being background and TV and stuff, to even stand up. When I was at Montreal for Just for Laughs, and I was telling somebody I was a new face unrepped. I didn't even have a rep.
Who did you work with? Just Knowledge, or even before that?
I think it might have been Knowledge at the time. I don't even know. I didn't have no agents.
So how did you get in the door? What you just submitted?
I was good at the showcases. New Faces Unrepped didn't even exist until me and Dan Soder was so good. They had to put us on New Faces. That shit that's such a crazy thing I can brag about now because it's a thing now. It's been a thing for like that's like 2005, 2006 when I did that.
Wow.
And so like that exists now and it's like one of the great showcases. I'm like, yo, they put us in like the Montreal Projects. I don't even know what the fuck we was staying at. That shit was scary.
The Montreal Projects.
I
is
didn't
crazy.
really didn't sleep in there half the time. I slept in somebody's room at another hotel. Like, can I sleep on your floor? Because those people back over there. I don't want to be in the Montreal Projects. And so, but I'm saying it even didn't exist. And so I told this story when I was just there recently because one of my friends, because it's like camp going to Just for Laughs. And I met him the first year I went. He's from Montreal. Just cool African guy, big comedian out there. Do shows in different languages, just a beast. I remember when his wife was pregnant with his daughters, like the third year I came. And them little girls are huge now. They just big. And I was like, yo, dad is cool. They like, what? My dad's not cool. And I'm telling you, dad is one of the coolest dudes. He got my hair cut while I was out here because I could have found a barber. It took me to you know what I mean? And so anyway, I was telling that story and I was like, you know what's crazy? When I received my award from Montreal, before I got into my speech, I couldn't even start it yet because the room was packed. And I looked straight to the back of the room because I remember the day, that first year I went, I got the last seat in that room in the back.
Wow.
And they weren't even supposed to let nobody in, but the lady's like, oh, it's an extra seat. Somebody, now come on. And I sat there, and I think I was talking to myself watching the award show. And I'm like, man, someday I'm going to be on that stage. Like, I just pictured myself. And then years later, 2019, I received Breakout Performer of the Year. And that was crazy to me.
Kind of manifested everything.
Not just manifested, I work my ass
Well,
off.
yeah, absolutely.
You
Let's
like,
not get it twisted.
but I'm saying there's levels to it.
Yeah.
And you got to know, and you have to know your worth. It wasn't until recently I realized that I negotiate better than most of my friends. I like, what the fuck are y'all asking for? You got to know your business. And then it's another level to this business, even if you start doing the independent stuff. Like, I'm literally writing 2 scripts on my own. I ain't hiring nobody to help me with it. I'm doing it on my own.
Really?
Because I have such a very aggressive vision about something I really want to do, and I think I'm the only one that could write it. Every time I've tried to almost it's been like, I just been on some extra visionary shit. Because I don't see anything on the surface no more. If I saw things on the surface, I'll be panicking. Because we're starting to see a lot of panic in Hollywood now.
Yeah.
People are panicking.
That's crazy. You would think that these people, these stars are like this, but in fact, they just not take what they can get, but take what's in front of them.
It ain't just the stars, it's everybody. Like, everybody's not working. Which is why, the people that, they shouldn't be doing independent things. Man, look, we got people that work in lighting, sound, the gaffers, the set decorators, all those people who do need to work even while we're doing this. And I'm not like, this is our strike. And if we're able to do some things independently and you build relationships with these DPs and things like that, it could change everything.
Yeah.
You know, once we start learning more about how the distribution game works a little more, where you don't have to necessarily do things through the big studios and you make direct deals with a lot of these movie theaters to distribute your film, the whole thing can change. And it has to, because this structure has been going on too long, honestly. It's like I've been saying that since I had my show. And April will tell you, you know, when I was doing Rel on Fox, even the way I had to hire my writers is such an archaic process. I think I want to be able to hire whoever the fuck I want if they're in the WGA.
They probably told you they had to have credits. Or
Well,
something.
no, you have to hire people they've given deals to that they don't know my voice. I have to hire this person.
Wow.
Here's the group you have to choose from because this is the people we decided to pay. What they got to do with me?
Writer, they sign writers to the. I guess you do sign writers to the networks.
It's gonna be on and popping, but you got to understand the business. And you know, a lot of people they talk about how greedy the studio heads are because they are making a lot of money, but you know, they work for the shareholders. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Learn business in this. Even you know, and I'll say this, and I think this is where once again I stand closer to the writers in this. And I'm not saying I don't stand with SAG-AFTRA in this. I just wish we would have planned it out better because I think it was too soon. We just opened back up. And I feel so bad. It's like at least 5 things I've watched that I can't say nothing about from Black stories that are fucking brilliant. And that shit breaks my heart.
Right.
And we talking about really good stories that need to be talked about. I can't say shit about it. I can't high five my friends who work their ass off to get. And I'm gonna tell you this, you know, I look at the camera for this one, like Black artists, guys. I don't even want like white. Everybody to understand for people of color, we're just getting these opportunities to tell our stories the way we want to. With us not being able to promote it or say anything or give each other, like I hate that we can't even do nothing on our social media. The carpets is one thing. You gonna tell me what I could do on my personal page? I wish we just would have thought of something strategic where we could still applaud our friends in this.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you want to use your voice.
Well, it took them forever to even get these fucking projects. And so now they're telling these stories we need to be told, and we can't say shit about it. And if I could be honest, the reason why some of the white actors probably don't feel as much for them because they've been able to tell these stories forever. So they're not missing out on shit they're not promoting. That shit bothers me. Like I feel fucking bad. Like I was watching an episode of something I'm really enjoying. And I'm just like, and it like the episode made me tear up. It was so powerful. And like, I can't say shit about this. I can't applaud these young people. I can't applaud the brothers and sisters that's directing and writing this. Damn.
Yeah, that's what you do. You show love. You see something.
Yeah, but it's like we've been asking for these fucking stories. Begging for it. Because I'm going to tell you something. If it doesn't do well, I hate this. I'm just being honest. And I'm not trying to make this about race, but some of it is. If our shit don't do well, we won't get these opportunities again. And they're going to use that against us. And say, well, you see the numbers, nobody.
Yeah.
But you know why, motherfucker? And honestly, for the white people, they'll be okay.
Damn. So it might be a greater loss.
That's why I'm saying, like, it's a couple people I've had conversations with, and I'm not the only one that feels like this. I'll probably be the only one saying something about this. And like it's like for me, everything's about timing, and I'm itching because I'm a little. It's a little frustrating because even once these deals are done, like, and even for the writers, black writers and showrunners,
Mhm.
we still have a different negotiate. They still negotiate with us differently, no matter what the paper says.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't nobody up in arms about that shit. So I don't know. Like, learn your business, guys. Learn the business.
What you mean nobody was up in arms about that?
Oh, I'm talking about white people. Like, I didn't see only one or two of them. Like, who was it? I was it Octavia Spencer?
David Spencer.
I forgot what movie she did with her white co-star, and she like decided like, yo, she told her that what she was getting, and she's like, oh fuck that, we can get the same thing, blah 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 blah. It's just not happening. Like, this should be like, you know how we striking about this? We've been crying about the disparity of what we've been getting and opportunities and things like that. Even with all those people just left recently, that's kind of been swept under the rug. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
When I say everybody up in arms, I'm talking about people that's not of color stepping up for us,
Right.
saying, "Hey, fuck all this. This ain't right neither." Like, if we're Hollywood, we're not like the rest of the world.
Right.
Everything should be even spread on this shit. That's why we can't even get into the controversy of like almost, what a man gets and a woman gets. It's like it's still what white people get and what black people get.
A lot of fighting. A lot of fighting. Still a lot of fight to go. But then you're saying also, I mean,
Learn the business. I mean, I think that's what's so frustrating about this. I just really believe I feel like 2024 should have been the year we struck. And we should have had a great game plan. We should have started raising money just in case of that and communicating that.
kind
Like,
of
we should have been creating these funds secretly where outside of hearing like The Rock gave that.
right.
Like we should have been just building collateral for this. I think the SAG after strike was super last minute.
Came out of nowhere.
And no, because they
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
the deal was done. And I don't like being gaslit. And you start telling me all this shit the studio said and this and that. That video, is that video still online? The SAG after we almost got a deal video?
Say that video.
The
said
positive SAG after video?
we ain't going in the positive direction.
The positive direction? I don't even know what it's called. Look for the positive direction SAG after video.
This is hilarious.
It did. It probably took that bitch down.
She really put positive direction.
I don't know. Well, I haven't seen the video, so
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, I know exactly what it looks like. I watched it on a Saturday. You probably can't even find that shit. Yeah, go to YouTube.
Video's gone. Video's gone.
They probably took that bitch
Was
down.
it Friend?
It was all of them. It was Friend. It was the guy with the glasses.
The negotiator.
SAG Astra positive negotiate. See, the only one they got up there is like, nah, see, pull up the video with y'all niggas clapping. Y'all was all smiling and shit. That ain't it. I know exactly what it looks like because I watched it. Not Friend. Say just, we gonna find this shit because I want to know if it's gold. Oh, wait, no, that ain't it. Nope. Ooh, they done took that bitch down. They only got oh, God, it's such an agenda. Ooh. Oh, they took it down, didn't they? You motherfucker. No. Type in SAG Astra positive negotiation video.
Mm.
Nope. So, oh, it's gone. Ooh, it was up there. Nigga, I saw it on YouTube and on my Sack After shit. It's gone. I know what it looked like. They done took that bitch down. Oh, type in pre-strike video.
There we go. This is it.
Pre-strike Sad Astra video. Nope, ain't it? Ooh, they done took it down, yo. Oh my God. Oh.
Video's missing. Man.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, it was on my shit. We were all happy about everything that's going on.
Learn the business, man. Learn the business.
Hold on. I mean, I'm
It's
at
gone, real. It's out of here.
Yeah, because it's. Oh, Lord, I forgot we still recording. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say better look at that phone. Boy.
Look at that. That nigga complaining. Is that extra?
Screen recorded the video.
Ooh, they took it down. I knew they would have. It was too positive. We're doing such a great job. Let me go back. So when did we go on strike? July. We threatened to go on strike June something. What was the first date? June 30th? So it was before June 30th.
It officially began on July 14th. Yeah, I think June 30th was the initial day. Yeah, but then they extended for 2 weeks.
Ooh, about to file this shit. Oh, this ain't it. It's right. It's before this one.
I think that we were duped in the 12-day extension.
Mm-hmm. You want to do? Damn. Yeah. I'm finding it too. It's over here. It's so much Sack After shit. Shit, I got damn near. I get so many emails from them. A letter from friend. Which one is it? Oh yeah, that's still when they was talking about the WGA, so we wasn't even negotiating yet. So I need to go back up here. Yeah, it had to be after this. Well, this was positive. This one they was talking about them talking to the WGA. So I'm looking at for see, I would never. If I posted my residuals, niggas would hate me.
Hmm.
It's really how you negotiate that shit. I got the shit for 4 cents before, but it's like, yeah, some 4 cent work.
4 cents.
Yeah, but you can also afford a 4 cent check.
It's not about affording. April, what's a residual is not about affording. If that's what you negotiate, say you got paid for that job only $125, what you think your residual check gonna be? Like that's what I'm saying. It's not if people not being honest. Like, fam, be real. Don't if you're gonna show that, at least explain to your other actors and actresses why that check is that.
Right.
Because it was a time they weren't getting none of that shit.
What do you mean?
Before they, when they did this shit like 60 years ago, they wasn't getting residuals at all.
Oh, well, sure.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, shit, you weren't getting a dime. And it's been the same. It's like it hasn't been a worse contract. So it's a lot of people, like people who did the Cosby Show and shit like that. They lived off their shit for years because they was on a hit show.
Right.
Niggas was on pilots and be like, "Well, my check is on it." Nigga, that shit didn't even get picked up.
So what show are you saying that was a hit show? Well, all that is that? I know that was the girl said something. I'm
And
not.
she actually,
Like I saw like a tweet the other day that said, and I can't find it now, but like cast 1,300 people worked on Seinfeld.
Mhm.
1,323 people. All them people were not making thousands of dollars. They just weren't.
nah. So you mean as actors?
Yeah, as actors.
Yeah.
That's
If
just the cast.
if you're no.
1,000 people worked on
So you talking about? See, that's what. God damn. I'm glad you said that. Can I explain? Here we go.
Yeah.
We talked about the ranking system.
Mhm.
Series regular and others is two different fucking things.
Mhm.
The separate characters I played on Rel get a different check than Lil Rel did.
Yeah.
That check was probably only like $400 something,
Mhm.
whatever that was.
Right,
So the
right.
residuals for those checks for me playing that one character compared when I played Star Lil Rel, which is a beautiful thing to do when you're able to do both. Like, nigga, this is the disparity. Me playing Duloc is what Duloc got, goddammit. This is what his fucking money was.
Right.
Playing Lil Rel to star on the show is two different goddamn things. A hit show like Seinfeld, which was on for so long, hell yeah, they got a bunch of people they casted.
Right.
But what they negotiated for is what they got. And to go back to, like I said, most people, because they want to be on TV so bad, don't even negotiate the shit. They just say yes.
Mhm.
And so to think you're gonna live, do you think somebody should live off one episode or something they do for the rest of their life?
No.
So
not at all.
what are you saying?
Like, if people aren't able to work, because it's not a job how it's set up now, anyway. It's not a job that you can do and do every day. Like, you'd have to work every day making the minimums just to get the insurance.
Exactly.
And nobody's working.
So you only but this is where the devil's advocate and people who don't know business. You're all right about that. That's why you get good enough
Mhm.
to hopefully be casted as a series regular on the show. Because most series regulars are getting insurance.
Mhm.
Most of them are. Now, our business, the risk of being an actor is understanding that it's not a lot of that shit to go around.
Right.
Point blank. It just ain't. A lot of that shit don't even exist. A lot of those budgets ain't big.
Mhm.
Like it's unrealistic.
Well, I think a larger conversation really is how your insurance and your job shouldn't be attached like it is in this country. Like
And I'm glad you said that. In this country. So if Hollywood understands this shit is happening to everybody.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, when I think about
Wait, what?
what Hollywood, the people, actors, everybody need to realize it's happening to everybody. Like you just said, it's in our country. We tied it into jobs, right? I look at my parents. They had a hard time getting insurance from their jobs, and they made more than $26,000 a year.
Mhm.
My parents made more than $26,000 a year. At that time, where they were working at, it was hard for them to get insurance from their jobs. I grew up in the 80s.
I guess
I've
they
never heard that.
you don't always get insurance.
What?
Usually when you get if
What?
you have a job
Mm-mm.
that offers benefits.
No, every
That
job
offers benefits.
Oh, that offers
You
benefits.
just said the key words.
I'm trying to tell you, in the 80s, every fucking company didn't offer benefits.
Yeah.
Every company didn't offer benefits. If you was doing, my mom did.
2023 though.
Well, he was
Nigga,
talking about his
I said my
parents.
parents, my nigga. See, that go to young smart people. You ain't hear shit I said. I said my parents. I said,
But your parents only happened 40 years ago.
But that's what he was talking about.
That was
We
my
we need to
point.
clear in this episode, and then we can talk
Yeah,
again.
because
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell April
Let's
talking
end the
about. I
episode.
was saying about parents. I was talking about how like it's been wrong a long ass time. We talking about till 2023. Nigga, we still got first black everything in us in 2023. Do you understand that? We still
Oh, you're saying it's wrong that it's
yes,
taking the job
yes,
back.
yes.
Okay.
I said it's been like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm saying like now that like as an actor, more like actors get more, and I hate to say that's why like the public is kind of looking at us like, how do we feel bad for y'all?
Mhm.
I have teachers that's in my family, which they are actually being very supportive, but then the shit they were striking for,
Mhm.
the ones that educate our fucking children, that educated us,
Yeah.
have a hard time getting shit that the government can afford to give them.
Yeah, some of them haven't got raises in years.
Nigga.
10, 15 years.
So yes, it is a bigger thing. I think we have to do a better job if we want the public to truly support us for real. All this shit has to be explained better.
Yeah. And a lot of people just speaking on stuff they have no idea what they're talking about. Literally have no idea
Don't
what they're
have
talking
no
about.
idea what
So
they're
when you say learn the business, some people can't learn the business. You learned it as you
Because
elevate.
niggas only see the shit as on the surface.
And there we go. You said you don't see stuff on the surface no
Shit,
more
if I
because
act
you
and you
elevate.
act, this is what I deserve.
Yeah, so it's your job, not your job, but to explain to people and have those conversations.
That's what's interesting about like we still ain't more fucked over than like musical artists.
Oh man, hell no.
You know what
Nah.
I'm saying? Like, and like them motherfuckers do like they do like not collective numbers,
Yeah,
individual numbers, and still get fucked over.
yeah.
And honestly, the streaming shit kind of was their battle.
That's
first.
their battle for sure. Yeah,
Music is interesting because music has an opportunity to, if they could start a lot of these entertainment fights first,
yeah.
but
Because music,
it's such a lucrative. Like you think about most musicians, like if they want to fight for all that, what those companies tell them to do is go on the road, so they make money on the road,
Mhm.
so they won't be paying attention to all that other shit.
Mhm.
They tied it into like, well, shit, if you streaming well, you go on the road, that's where you gonna make your money.
Right.
People gonna come see you because they streaming you.
You go out there, we take this
Go
money,
out
you
there
take
and
that
do
money.
the shit be the double, man. Go on the road.
Let's go on the road.
I mean, it's just the truth.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very, and you know what's crazy? As much as niggas would not listen to Jay-Z,
Mhm.
that is what he was trying to explain with everybody jumping on title and almost becoming investors.
Mhm.
But man, and I'm seeing it with this SAG after strike too, where like we can be independent, but it's hard to take everybody out that fucking
That mind frame.
that
Does that look like some puppets?
that puppet, that wheel.
Hmm.
Look, that's actually in our families. Like it's hard to create generational wealth with old mindsets.
Mhm. Yep.
Because there's certain things that's gonna sound crazy to them. That's like, dude, we have to take this type of risk.
Hmm.
Or we gonna be still walking around this fucking. So look, yeah, we getting this episode on business.
Yeah.
We might have to cut the out what part we go.
Now we're gonna we gotta squeeze some of that
Squeeze some of
down.
that shit in,
Yeah, it's
but-
gotta go.
But I'm telling you, learn your business.
Yeah.
I don't care what business you are in.
Mhm.
Learn that shit.
Mhm.
Stop looking at shit just on the surface.
Yep.
If you want to. Because it's one thing I learned in my 43 years.
Mhm.
You can't change no grown people.
Yeah, some people enjoy
Grown
comfortability.
motherfuckers are comfortable. And I'm talking about really educated, whatever they shit is.
Mhm.
But if you only gonna look at shit on the surface, shibbity double.
Shooby double. I knew that was.
Because fuck that.
Uh,
I got a real, like, you know how people say want to be a billionaire?
Mhm.
No, I'm really working towards that shit.
Mhm.
And not where it takes a long time.
Yeah.
It's like, no, because I see shit clear for what it is now.
And you going for it.
Hell yeah. Like, but then it's not even just because I want to be rich for me and my family. I want to create opportunities.
And you want other people to see it.
But also, I want to change the system. I think this system been going on too long. Now, unless these studios get really smart, which maybe they will. I think what they need to do is just stop sleeping on people of color. Because that's who's making the money. A lot of the hits we're seeing, shows, movies. Because it's new stories.
But then the people of color need to know what to ask for and negotiate.
I
It
think
ain't
niggas
work.
are starting to get that. I just think like we just got caught between a rock and a hard place, and I that's why I feel. Once again, that's why I think we struck too early. But I don't think nobody was thinking about the opportunities we just had. And once again, please pay attention to what just happened with these studios and those resignations and resignations.
Yeah.
It just was too weird, man. But hey, shibbity dobo. Another episode of Keeping It Real with
Young Wayne.
Know Your Business.
Keeping it real.
That was a Headgum podcast.